Test, test, test. Test, 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 test. Welcome back to the House of Pisces X Night Horde Season 2. Guys, this is going to be day 11 for the Group C's. And today, we are going to be having NACT Top 18 Bloodhounds versus X Unity. If you guys are new to the stream, make sure to hit the like and subscribe. Thank you guys all for joining in. On the side of Bloodhounds, we do have Ochako, Easy Peasy, Ooga Booga, Boka, and Ramsey. Just looking at this lineup, I'm going to assume Easy Peasy in the jungle, Ooga Booga roam. Or potentially in the gold lane. I'm not sure what Ochako plays. But I know Boka plays mid, Ramsey, a great XP, and a jungler. And on the opposite end, the red side, we will have Look After You, Love in the Dark, Neferto, Neminem,
Gaze upon
Bui, View, and Mel Gods. And make sure everything is working on my end. How's the mic quality? Is it a little bit quiet? Yeah, it might be a little bit quiet. I could turn myself up. Give me just a second.
Time to drop the beat of the flash.
Your team is banning.
All right, this should be a little bit better. But yes, guys, NACT yesterday was quite wild. Even on Saturday, the matches were quite good. It's just so far, it's been a lot of one-sided matches, a lot of 2-0 sweeps. But as the week goes on, harder teams are going to play against harder teams. The lower teams are going to be playing against each other, so the matches should theoretically be a little bit more tighter. But although, you know, yesterday we did have a few tight matches, right? Night Herd versus DA. The votes were quite 50-50. DA grabbing the 2-0 with the brand new all-star lineup. And Night Horde unable to continue their momentum that they had in the regular season. Now, this time around, we are going to have Bloodhounds joining us in our tournament. Very, very solid team. Hasn't necessarily found the groove that they might be looking for themselves. But nonetheless, a very successful team. You know, consistently top 8. And consistently getting into that position is quite tough. Especially since there's a lot of great teams in North America, right? In NACT, we had, I think, about 100+ registrations. Even in the small tournaments that we host, you know, we could get like 64+ quite easily. So, you know, a lot of teams that they have to fight there, and they've always done quite well. Ramsey, going to be first picking the Arlott. Sure, you guys heard it many a time. It's a great flex pick in the XP and in the roam position. And you know, this Bloodhounds lineup nowadays, they have like a huge pool of players that can kind of just like fill in whichever role they're looking for. And you know, it's quite beautiful to be able to see such a team kind of, you know, merge together with other organizations, recruit, and still maintain their same rosters. And it's just like upgrades after upgrades, right? Side of X Unity does pick up the Valentina and Minotaur. Minotaur is essentially one of the strongest tanks at this moment, due to the fact that he has both the values of a support and a frontline set, right? He may not have constant low cooldown healing like a Raphael or Florin, may not have the mobility like Angela and Matilda, but a lot of those type of heroes lack an AoE CC, a frontline set, the ability to build armor and scale quite well. But Minotaur definitely fits in with that job. But heads at the side of Bloodhounds, going for a quite strong bully comp. The Barats gets picked up along with the Sicilian. I mentioned the Sicilian a little bit during NACT last time. It's one of those heroes that is quite rare for any teams to pick up, but it is still very, very secure. I believe like 3-4 years ago, maybe even less than that, 2 years ago, there was a team from Japan that went to Worlds. I think it's like 10 Second Gaming or something Seconds Gaming, and I had the opportunity to take a look at some of the tournaments that were being played overseas. And when you take a look at some of the metas that are quite different out there, what's up, MOBA Guilds? Welcome. When you take a look at some of the metas that are out there, in Japan, they really, really appreciated the stacks and the insurance that Sicilian has, especially when it goes to the mid to the late game. And they really just value kind of not fighting a lot, and just stacking up, going to the mid into the late game, a very like late game oriented type of region. And Sicilian was one of the power picks that they had, and it was almost like a ban or a first pick. So being able to see it come back, it's definitely going to be a great game, especially for me, because I'm a huge fan of Boca's Sicilian. Now, Mel Gods does pick up the X-Borg. The bans, second phase bans are on the table. Roger gets taken out. Same with Carry. Both teams needing a gold laner. And a lot of the times, like, I like to recommend a lot of the early game marksmans, just because I do feel like a lot of the teams lack the ability to go even early on. Now, I know how hard and tough it is to be able to play discipline, play not for kills, but going a little bit more for objectives. But if you're able to kind of go even in lane, not die too much, your team is able to help you out in some of the defense when it comes down to like a 3 to 4 man siege on the gold lane, and they can slot 1 or 2 people there. You don't have the numbers advantage, but with the tower you should be able to defend it quite well. And if teams are able to kind of just match the macro rotations, especially early on against a lot of the aggressive teams like GG's and BTK, right? Just play a match against them and watch over and see the particular timings that these teams have, right? You'll start noticing like there is a pattern. It could be like blue-red crab or red-blue crab, or blue-red, they don't go for the crab. And then he wants to go on red side and farms the bottom. And then you start seeing this like timing where it's like junglers are level 3, they cleared out most of their camp trying to find that level 4. It's about that like 1 minute 30 mark. And like, as a support, you could look at the enemy support, right? For example, like I'm speechless here. Exia gets picked up by the side of X Unity. And Ooga Booga picks up a Fanny. Now, it's not something that I would suggest in a comp like this, just due to the fact that Easy Peasy and Boca both kind of need a blue buff in order to scale into that late game. Maybe even the Sicilian more than the Brats, especially comes into the late game. Now with another mana hungry or an energy hungry hero for the side of Bloodhounds, it's gonna be interesting to see how they decide to split it up. But one thing they do have is an early game marksman. This Clint is extremely underrated in my opinion. Elijah, Salmon, welcome to the stream. Mr. HOP himself. Once again, guys, make sure to hit that like and subscribe if you guys are enjoying the content. Make sure to give us a shout out. And wherever you guys are at, if you guys aren't shy, definitely come out and say hi. I am watching the chat today. X Unity with their last pick available. The Martis comes through, and you know, when we're comparing a lot of the junglers, especially nowadays, I still think utility jungle is the best style, right? The Barats, Fredrin, and when those two are banned out, the Boxy is a great pick. It's even like early pickable, especially if teams actually know how to play in that situation. So, but the Martis is going to be the one that gets picked up here. It's still a great pick. Definitely high tier. But yes, we're going to go into the match. It is going to be between Bloodhounds, the NACT team, versus X Unity Legion. Two Attack on Titan characters coming through the show. 3 collectors. You know, one thing that I do have to give to Mobile Legends is that their skins are just beautiful. Like, you know, it's honestly great. You know, they're able to kind of make these collector skins. Of course, it does cost a lot of money, but it's great for the eyes. It's pleasing, right? And then allowing skins to be used in tournaments just like this, it's even better. But yes, guys, welcome. Oh no, why is the mouse like this? Oh no, it works. But yes, we can take a look at some of the timings. You know, these small skirmishes, not necessarily that important, but you could see, right? 44 seconds, 45 seconds. Both junglers are on their second buff. They chose to ignore pretty much majority of the green camps. Closer to that, you know, 55 seconds, you do see a small fight for the crab. Should look to disengage here though, but easy peasy. Taking quite a bit of damage here. Not sure if side X Unity really wants that engagement, as side of Bloodhounds able to grab up the first blood already. Ooh, and a potential counterplay here. Arlott able to pick that up. No flicker used, so just a little bit too fast. And Ramsey here is looking for a double. It ends up getting it off of the dash on Bu. A great start for the side of Bloodhounds. And, you know, this team hasn't had the best performance in playoffs, but definitely going up against any other team, their success is quite immense. Even, you know, take a look at this comp. It's not full-on serious, in my opinion, but definitely a strong comp nonetheless. And this is a best-of-2 series, right? It's not, you know, best-of-3s. Both teams have to play out both the matches, and both the matches, if they do lose one, that's 1 point down. Anything could happen. We did see in our last bracket that but before that, top side here, Ooga Booga looking to grab up another kill on the Xborg. So yeah, Bloodhounds, you know, just winning every little small trade, able to go for the aggressive side, gets the jungle pressure, gets the objective, playing, you know, extremely solid. But yes, once again, you know, the side of Bloodhounds, they've been a great team. It's, you know, a little bit hard sometimes to be able to see some of their performances, but Boca going through, but the decimation does connect. Bu able to push back a little bit of gold in favor of X Legion, but they are still going to be down about 2k gold. Bot side do get the missile barrage, but Bu is on the far end. Does get a small heal, but and the Fanny gets out here. Easy peasy, is stuck alone, CC'd, and, you know, completely shredded. The final slash does connect. Ramsey on 2. Look, after Yun's able to pick up that kill and a double kill for Ramsey, able to pick up the Minotaur too. Ramsey on fire here today, 5-0-1. Take a look at some of the builds and the emblems. Has the Thunderbelt, has the Mace. Take a look at his emblems. You know, not many people build that emblem, Quantum Charge. But Ramsey definitely using the Quantum Charge quite well here. Does add a little bit of utility with the movement speed and the health regen back. He's not going to be as a chunky boy, but definitely have the ability to do a slight burst, extra burst of damage. On the bot side, Ooga Booga able to pick up the Exia on the bot side. 10-5 is the overall score. Bloodhounds 2k gold lead. Potential reverse fight. Ramsey gets out alive here, but might get picked off. The flicker comes through. Bu not connecting with it. A little too quick. And, you know, quite honestly, even if the side of X Unity is able to go into kind of like that mid and late game, paired with the Missile Barrage and the Minoan's Fury, they could definitely stir up a great team fight, especially with the lack of CC that Bloodhounds have. But typically with a lot of the lack of the CC comps, they do have a lot of damage. And this time around, the damage is 100% there. Look at the Clint outranging underneath the tower. You got the Barats on the backside. The Nom Nom does not connect, just barely missing. The Missile Barrage coming through. And Bloodhounds quietly disengage there. But yeah, this Sicilian is definitely going to be an issue. The far range, you know, you're going to be able to have quite the great time. Would love to see how much stacks the Sicilian has. 100 stacks already. And Sicilian, typically a good stack day, like the best possible stack day is when you do get about double the minutes. So 120 would be kind of where he wants to be sitting at. Pretty much kind of the best possibility. He's at 115, so a little bit underneath. Still quite good. Able to get the mid tower. Ramsey is sacrificed there, but I do think with the new real estate that they're able to obtain for the side of Bloodhounds, they are quite happy with that trade. And yes, I do hope you guys enjoy the stream. It's going to be a little bit of a quiet commentary. Not the same as NACT. It's just kind of a little bit more laid back, chilled, relax. Just having a good time, you know. Quick Missile Barrage going through, just clearing the lanes. And grabbing an early anti-heal item. Not really sure what the name is for that item. If you guys know in the chat, please let me know. But it's a very interesting item, especially with the new buffs. Minoan's Fury does come through. No ultimate come out from the Exia, so the damage is just not there from the side of X Unity here. Bloodhounds able to kind of get the bully ball, and you know they're not slowing down at all whatsoever. You can even see Boka on the bot side here. Sprint has been used. Last Insanity does pop the flicker onto Boka, but it does end up missing. Easy peasy does get the Nom Nom, and X Unity able to pick up 2 in that skirmish. Take a look at his stacks once again. 145. Yeah. Very, very good Sicilian game. And, you know, it doesn't take that much to be able to get Sicilian online. I mean, especially if you're on the winning side, like Sicilian's almost just kind of free farming. And when it comes down to that mid and late game, especially when he gets that lightning trudgeon, the burst just kind of starts coming in, and that's, you know, that's kind of the hard part. But yeah, it's just, you know, free stacks, free range. The Sicilian, it's a good hero. It's definitely a great character. Surprised it's not being used a little bit more, especially with such a dive heavy composition. Like, you could take a look at some heroes like Roger. Like, Roger's not going to be able to make that much impact against the Sicilian's Bat Feast, right? You know, if enemies go with a Minotaur, you could take the Purify. Purify is quite good. Fredrin, you know, Sicilian also is able to kind of stack well against it. So definitely a lot of potential there. But, you know, Sicilian has received some balancing a few months, probably almost a year ago. And it's not as stackable as she was before. Maybe some of the base damage got nerfed early on. The early game is just not so good anymore, and especially nowadays, since the early game has been such an important part for any team's success, that it's quite tough when you do end up losing that early game. The Rog Armor gets popped onto the top side. The Flicker gets played here. Ooga Booga is able to get out with steel cables. And good disengagement for the side of Bloodhounds. X Unity unable to catch out anyone there. Ramses picks up the bot side tower. The Lord is marching down. Bloodhounds looking to siege on the opposite side of the map. Bat Feast coming through. Is on the marches. Is able to dash away and immune a lot of the CC. It's kind of the strength of the marches. But yeah, see the Sicilian scaling quite well here. Has the blue buff. The range is good. The damage is there. Last Sandy popped. No Araga armor. X Unity eventually looking to back out in this engagement. Main thing they really need to do in order to prolong this game is not looking for a particular engagement, right? Of course, if Bloodhounds do decide to make a mistake, you know, they have to try and see if they could get a little impact on that. But if Bloodhounds, you know, is playing the way that they are right now, it's definitely a little bit hard for a strong engagement. You know, just clearing the waves, prolonging the game, that's definitely what X Unity kind of, you know, has no choice but to do, right? And when we talk about kind of the prolonged games, Sicilian gets better and better, but at the same time, Fanny gets worse and worse. Same thing with the Clint. Clint doesn't, you know, get better when it goes into the late game. So, you know, the side of Bloodhounds, they do have some insurance. Some are quite good in the early, some are quite good in the late to trade. For the side of X Unity, Valentina scales so well into the late game. Xborg, Exia, all of them scales pretty well. Even the Minotaur. So, you know, X Unity definitely has the potential. Do pick up the Fanny for the first time. They're able to get a potentially winning team fight. The decimation does come through. Picks up the Clint. Also easy peasy. The last one on the chalking block. Decimation able to pick that kill up for himself. 10 to 13 is the overall. Now still a 4k gold lead for the side of Bloodhounds, but X Unity definitely coming back into this game strong. Oh my god, the damage from the Sicilian's crazy. Oh, the flicker stun coming out from Ramsey. Getting like 3 members right there. Still looking for another kill. The Fanny is there on chopping block. Does get taken off the board. Side of X Unity trying their best to disengage. Unable to get there. Uh-oh. Bop, bop. Ooh, Valentina able to get away there. The Lord is marching down onto the blue side. Bloodhounds needing to disengage here. Retribution does land, able to pick up that orange buff. But no hasty engagements for the side of X Unity. Oh, Minotaur able to get a Flicker's Minoan Fury onto that Clint. No Flicker, so not going to be able to do too much there. The Fanny did use the Cutthroat, unable to get that secure, but Ramsey's on the backside, able to pick that up for himself. And the Exia inside the bush did get a little stun cancellation off. But Exia now scaling quite well into this kind of mid-late game here. Doing very well for himself. And Fanny, of course, just a little bit faster hands, should be able to get that kill, but unable to get that connect here. X Unity able to retreat nicely with just losing one of the members. Well, that's a dangerous position. Barats with the Brute Force War Axe. Quite a fast little dinosaur. Does quite the high damage too also. Fanny going for the pure damage, almost like it's like a Masha. It's almost as if he's playing a Masha. We can take a look at some of Boca stocks. Where he should be at, 300 would be a good number. 250 is something extremely acceptable. And he is at 300. So double the stacks for the amount of time that we have. Definitely in a good place here. Easy peasy though. Gets Minoan Fury. A full barrage landed onto him. But Bu here might get taken off the board. The Sicilian damage is just too much. Boca front side did get taken off, but Ramsey was there to connect with those kills. And the Clint triple kill, looking for the sweep. They also still got the Fanny pushing on the top side, so inside of Bloodhounds with a lot of insurance is able to make the plays that they need necessarily in order for them to get to where they want in the positions. 10 seconds on Bu here. No minions available. Melgods, nice defense there. Side of Bloodhounds looking to retreat. I think it's a good decision. But Ramsey here though, 11, 3, and 5, definitely the MVP so far in this game. We expect nothing less from a man of his caliber. Well, we expected nothing less there too. Man died. X Unity was able to pick up one, but Exia does get picked up there. The Retribution coming through, a clean Lord for the side of Bloodhounds. The Nom Nom comes through, does pick up the X-Borg with the Immortality Winter Truncheon combination. Melgod's able to survive for another few seconds before dying. Or dying to the wraths of Pochacho. Tower goes down. Minnow getting bursted. And they have the Sicilian. It's just going to be so much damage. I don't know if the side of X Unity is able to defend here. Easy peasy. Does get hit by the tower. Ooh. Both immortalities gone, but damage is just a little bit too much. Bloodhounds able to take the first game of our only series today. Bloodhounds able to get the victory, 25-16 in an 18-minute fashion game. Ramsey stands out above the crowd for sure. 11, 4, and 6. Kill participation across the board, quite high for Ramsey, right? Quite expected. Easy peasy did tank a lot of damage, still dealing quite a bit. Baboka leading in terms of the total damage done. We are going to be right back as we get the second match ready, guys. We're going to be right back.
Dicky is my name. Always on the way.
Your team is picking.
All right, guys, welcome back to the House of Pisces X9 Horde. This is going to be our match number 2 in our only series tonight. X Unity was not able to conquer the blood scent of the hounds here. BH able to get the victory in their very first game of the series. And, you know, the bans are on the table. The CC, R-Lot, both get taken out by the side of X Unity. You know, the R-Lot definitely warranted. It was an early pickup for Ramsey. And they played so extremely well with it. CC also another great XP hero. But for the side of X Unity, they do have the Xborg that was played in the last game, and you know, it does match up quite well. So it may not be something that they should be scared of. Side of Bloodhounds, take out the Joy, no Assassin Jungler, Matilda, and Masha, two of the more annoying roamers nowadays, also gets taken out here. And a very interesting early game pickup for the side of Bloodhounds. They do take the Granger jungle going up against Brats. This is not a matchup that we traditionally have to play, but you know, we like, you know, a lot of the off meta out of the pocket picks. So you know, bringing in the crowd a little bit of spice, a little bit of entertainment. The Xborg now gets picked up by the side of Ramsey. You know, it's a great hero going up against something like the Barats. So definitely a good counter pick. And an interesting flex coming through X Unity, deciding no, they don't like the Barats versus Granger matchup, picks up the Fredrin instead. So the Barats here now floating, right? Definitely could be an XP Barats, but going up against an Xborg XP Barats is probably not what you want. So the flex pick may be a little bit bad, but talk about a little bit of a headache. Ooga Booga picks up the Roger, and you know, he was the one that was playing the roam earlier, so I'm not sure if this Roger is actually going to the gold. It could be a potential, you know, even more big mind fuck, where you know, the Roger goes into the gold lane, Roger goes into the jungle, or it could even be the Xborg into the jungle. So a lot of flex potentials coming out from the side of Bloodhounds so far. X Unity do have this Valentina though, right? The Last Insanity paired up with the Valentina is quite the aggressiveness, quite the damage, and it does scale quite well with, you know, magic power. So Valentina's able to get quite a good matchup there. Second phase bans on the table. Kaja gets taken out by the side of X Unity. Bloodhounds take out Minotaur and the Tigreal. So potentially things that are open. Angela, Raph, Florin, if that's the place that they want to go. The side of Bloodhounds, they could go for something like a Kufra, which Uga Booga is quite good at. You know, some other heroes that he likes to play, Minsatar, Bellaric, Khalid. But a frontline set typically is going to be kind of the better option for the side of Bloodhounds, but who knows what we'll see, right?
The falling stars brought us here.
Your team is picking.
I love the smell of gunpowder
Your
in the
team
morning.
is picking.
Now, Franco gets picked up. The Rogers should be slotted into that gold position. Franco, a very annoying, solid hero, but definitely X Unity feels like they have the response to it. The Kufra does quite well against the Franco for a counter set. But Moskov is a very interesting pick. You know, you don't necessarily take a Purify with Moskov, so he definitely has to be able to get out of harm's way by himself with the Inspire. But X Unity do not go for the Kufra. The Angela is going to be the one that gets picked up, and I think this is quite good, right? The Angela paired with Bratz is a very solid combination. Angela with Fredrin also a very solid. But Angela does not necessarily pair that well up with Moskov, so we'll have to see how this hyper damage goes for the side of X Unity. Bloodhounds picking up the gourd here. Again, it feels like there's a lot of focus on killing this Barats. And you know, I do agree. I think the Barats is going to quite honestly struggle a little bit in this game. So definitely going to be something that we're going to be watching out for. But as we go into the Land of Dawn, it is going to be between X Unity and Bloodhounds. Bloodhounds already picking up the first victory of today, looking for a second now. And oh, an even cooler thing now is Ooga Booga is going to be playing on to the gold side. It could be a Granger onto the XP, so they're actually giving Easy Peasy essentially his best hero. So this is something that we most definitely have to watch out for. And you know, I'm extremely curious, right? How is Easy Peasy going to do in this game? This is one of his strongest picks: Agility, Season Hunter, Brave Spite with Custom Fighter. Ooga Booga having a great time on the bot side, abusing the mechanics of the Roger. Not having a dash, built-in small shield, having quite the far range and a quick burst with the second, right? It's very, very, very hard to deal with. But once again, you know, Bloodhounds flexing that they can, you know, everyone on their team can really play almost every single role, especially their sides, right? Like they're, you know, Ooga Booga, Ramsey, and now Pochako. All three of them are very, very strong multi-role players. And it's not really a term to take lightly. It's a jack of all trades. Can't, sometimes not master of none. Definitely have something that you're quite good at. Side of Bloodhounds able to pick up the first blood. Last Insanity does come through, able to get that kill up. And you know, Bloodhounds retreat. On the opposite end though, Ooga Booga nearly killing the Moskov. The Moskov is going to be the one that picks it up himself. And a quick double for Nefreto Nemenim. Is that like a Hunter x Hunter character name or something? Couldn't tell you myself. Mid side, easy peasy. No Araga armor, last Insanity there. Gord was able to pick up a kill onto the bot side, but now this Valentina here with the Angela ult actually doing a lot of damage. Side Bloodhounds have to back out here. Some damage onto Franco, looking for an Iron Hook to connect. No bueno there. Both sides looking to disengage. And X Unity here with a gold lead. Only about a 500. But still a great gold lead. Much better opening this time around. Retribution does come through for view. Able to pick that up, but you know, when we talk about kind of the lane clear that Bloodhounds have, Mystic Gush, Last Insanity, and Granger, like, it's a lot of long range clear on their end. They might be able to kind of just hodl underneath the tower and, you know, extend this game long. But Sad X Unity with a great early game. The Angela already providing some impact, some utility. Last Insanity does come through, paired up with the Bloody Hunt. Unable to burst the hard guard here. The Moskov able to pick up that kill himself. Look after, he's able to also pick up the X-Borg here. And Sad of X Unity picks up 3 kills on a small over aggression on the boss side. Angela flickers forward, tanks up the tower. Another great dive by the side of X Unity. Quite a good early game, mid game for X Unity here. Now, seeing how side of Bloodhounds is going to be able to deal with late game. Last Sanity does come through for the Valentina, able to pick that one up himself. The Angela underneath the tower with the Fredrin, just so much damage there. X Unity able to get away with some kills once again. But the response coming through on the top side, the Bloody Hump connects with the Brats, and the Granger able to pick one up for himself there. Retribution does come through for few, securing the neutral objective with no problem. And again, you know, X Unity with the lead here. Playing a great game. And this is kind of, you know, the reason why Bloodhounds' comp is not particularly the best. They don't really have a significant front line. They do have a lot of backline. Paired up with the Franco, it could be quite dangerous if they're able to get pick-offs one after another. Moscow Ultimate did hit, looking for a teleportation. No teleportation coming through. Mystic Gush. A Flicker Nom Nom is able to hit the Granger. But the response coming through, Franco is able to get the Barat onto a hook, but the damage coming through from Bu, too beautiful there. And X Unity gets a 4-kill trade for just one. Bloodhound playing seriously with these picks, or no way. I do agree, but every game does count though, right? Again, this is a best of 2 series, not best of 3, so. They win one, they get 1 point. They lose one, they don't get that point. And it all comes down to how the brackets are. Again, top 2 from each group is going to be moving on to the next stage. So, definitely important matches all around. Oh, a clean retribution coming out from Bu with the first skill. Last Sanity does get popped. The Rock Armor also gets popped there. And Valentina is able to pick up the mega kill, or the Angela is able to pick up the mega kill. So 2 kills, 3 kills for the side of X Unity. They're unstoppable in all these team fights. Oh, shutdown for the Granger, able to pick up some gold back into the favor. It's gonna be nice for the side of Bloodhounds to be able to defend with the extra shutdown that they have there. 18-5 is the overall score right now. The bonk coming through, not enough damage to really get the kills there, but definitely still quite high. Now, X Unity just kind of has to, I guess, find out a way to close this match. Angela 4-1-8, Valentina 4-0-7, Bu 3-0-8. So the trio mid definitely doing quite a bit of work here for the side of X Unity. Oh. Oh. The bonk coming through. No flicker there, just a retry, so couldn't get the strike off if he really was looking for it, right? A little bit of a dance party for both of the teams. A lot of damage from the Fredrin here though. Ooh. Bloody Hunt does come through on the Fredger, and they're able to get the shutdown there. But the double kill coming in from the side of X Unity, but a potential punish from the side of Bloodhounds. But a shutdown also coming through, so a lot of gold going back into the favor of Bloodhounds. This is where, you know, X Unity kind of have to be a little bit more careful, right? Things like a Franco into the roam, it's not very like full engage. It's almost kind of like I am just waiting for a hook. But Ramsey here might get taken off, but the pick actually comes out for Boca onto the backside, and they do get an iron hook. And with the amount of CC on the side of Bloodhound, see, they're just able to kind of shred down whoever solo target that they get. They still have quite the high damage on the side of Bloodhounds. Oh, the retribution does come through. It is going to go in the hands of Easy Peasy. The double kill already on for side of X Unity, and the Moskov able to get the teleportation in. He did end up dying, so the push is not going to be as fast as they are looking for. The Franco is up in 10 seconds, but I do think X Unity should be able to take this match no problem. Bonk. Both members dying. X Unity able to take the second game of our series, and
Victory!
that is pretty much going to conclude it for today's match. X Unity able to get a game off of Bloodhounds here. 27-10 is the overall, and 12-minute match. Valentina picking up this MVP, 70% kill participation, 30% damage. Guys, thank you guys all for enjoying the House of Pisces stream. Once again, this is Hopia X Night Horde Season 2, and it's going to be your host, Yue. We'll see you guys next time. Tomorrow, I do think we will be having the rest of our matches, so definitely stay tuned. The show should start either 5 p.m. PST or 6 p.m. We'll see you guys next time.